English with deck. When I say convenience store, what comes to mind? Is it some kind of like, I don't know, a little bit dank, run down, possibly very small, possibly a little bit dirty or grimy? Or is it like somewhere pretty sparkly, shiny, almost new looking, even though it was built several years ago, or quite a few years ago? Well, one thing that got me when I first ended up moving here I came here from Australia originally. Obviously, I'm English, but before I lived in Japan, I was in Australia, and before that, New Zealand. Spent a bit of time in other countries on like just traveling. Um, and then before that, I was obviously living in England. But the convenience stores in Japan are unreal. Like I've been here quite a number of years now, and honestly, I forget how lucky I am to be able to use a convenience store like that. And if it sounds a bit weird saying convenience store, actually, because in England, I think would I have used the word convenience store? Maybe not. I would definitely have said corner shop. Now, that would be well, obviously a corner, as in the corner of a road, like a junction. But it doesn't have to be on the corner, I'd say. It could be just on the road, but we'd still say corner shop, I guess. Or maybe that could also be an off license. Huh. Kind of forget. News agents, that's the word. Yeah, news agents. News agents. News agent, as in newspaper. Agent, as in the person who distributes the newspaper. Yeah, so I never really used the word convenience store, even though, yeah, even in Australia and New Zealand and Europe, I never really used it. There was a few similarities, but never convenience store. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, the fact that you can go into a convenience store here and just pay your bills, as in water, gas, electric, blah blah. I think you can pay pretty much anything, really. You're pretty, yeah, within reason, you can pay pretty much any bill that comes to mind. Um, Obviously take money out, buy magazines, depending on the brand of shop. You can buy an assortment of goods. As some of you may know, it actually hit the headlines in the BBC not so long ago, which was kind of funny. Uh, there's fa- there's some brands of convenience store which sell specific clothing, which for some has become very fashionable, which is quite funny. Because I guess from my experience, a lot of one second, sorry, I was just searching something to do with convenience stores. Um, but yeah, from my experience in Japan, the convenience stores were conveniware was traditionally just done by the business people going to and from party. If you were going to and from a party, etc. Could be wrong there. That was my take on it and my personal use as much as anything. Obviously, Family Mart really got quite popular fashion wise with theirs. However, when I was growing up, I don't think I ever saw that really. Yeah, I mean, the one similar. You could definitely pay your bills and stuff. There's definitely that, but the actual atmosphere is so different, and the service, of course, is nowhere near as um top like punctual. And cleanliness, not saying it's dirty, back in England at all, but there's just this different level of cleanliness, which is just interesting to see. I think it's the just the way they are used. It's like more in and out, whereas in the convenience store in England, maybe it would be more spend a bit of time there. Could be part of it. Yeah. So that is one thing that I realized today. I am quite lucky to be able to have those kind of services at my, well, on my doorstep is probably the best way to say it. Despite living in a fairly remote area, you've still got the high end services, which is brilliant. Okay, well, yeah. Anyway, that is all for today's chat.